honeysuckle soup on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Well, welcome to Capital Region Today. I'm so happy you're joining us today. We've got a great lineup. I know it's getting towards the end of the month, but here we are. Going into September pretty soon with a lot of events coming up in September, and we're going to be talking about some of them as well. For today, we're going to be talking about the Italian Street Fest, which is coming up in September. The Stockade Art Show and their street festival is coming up in September. We're talking about with an artist who's working with denim, and it's really interesting what she's done. And we're going to talk about that, and then there'll be an unveiling in October for that. And Harbinger Theater is here, and they're going to be talking about their production, which is in September. And we're going to talk to Slock, who's also doing a production, and that's in September. So we've got a lot of things coming up in September, and I don't think I even mentioned the Greek Festival is coming up, but they're not on the show, but we'll talk about that as well. We're going to start right out talking about one of my favorite events, because food, music, it's all Italian.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here today. Doreen DeToro, she is the owner of Rossi and DeToro, is that right?
Absolutely, yep.
And but let's talk about the event that's coming up.
Sure.
So it's always a packed street.
Packed Street, our 19th year, the Little Italy Street Fest, and it takes place in between Union Street at the Pillars and on North J Street down to South Avenue,
right,
where the stage is set every year.
Are you going to have
two stages? Two stages.
I think
There'll be a south stage as well. On the main stage this year, starting at noon, will be TS Ensemble.
They are so good.
Oh, he is. Tino, very,
You're
very.
lucky to get them.
Yes.
They're so good.
And followed by the Rogues, which are wonderful.
They're amazing.
Yep.
I catch them over at the casino
Over at the casino,
yeah.
Freedom Park.
Yeah.
And then our last band of the night, starting at about 6 o'clock, are the Refrigerators this year.
Did I ever hear of them? Let's see.
They're
one of the biggest party bands in the area.
A lot of dancing in the streets.
Cerrone, I think Dave Cerrone is part of that, yeah.
And then on the south stage, of course, Ed Clifford will be running the south stage.
And Ed is the Human Jukebox.
He's the Human Jukebox. He'll have a guest appearance from my friend, and her name's Janice Thompson.
Yeah, I know Janice very well.
Janice
got a beautiful voice.
Absolutely. Joe Severino.
Yeah.
Demetria Constantine.
She's got a beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice, and Joe Sinatra.
Oh, Joe's going to be there.
Joe's going to be there, so
yeah.
it's going to be. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment. And we are expanding down Warren Street a bit this year.
Oh, good.
And that's going to be for the little Bambinos.
The Bambinos.
Yes, there's going to be.
Love those little Bambinos.
There's going to be special a bounce house
for kids.
There's going to be street chalk. There's going to be a DJ and a dance party. And it's just little dance party for all the little ones.
Okay.
On Warren Street. And then, of course, we get to all the food and delightful things that'll happen. There's over 30.
You're going to have a little bit of food there.
A little bit of food, of course. We started this to promote Italian heritage and keep it alive and in everyone's thoughts. So Dr. Phil will be there from the Heritage Museum. Yeah. Sons of Italy will be there sharing all their treasures and talents and selling items. We'll have over 35 street vendors on the street. People have often said to me, it reminds them of walking down a little village street in Italy.
Exactly.
Every vendor has to fly either Italian flag or red, white, and green, balloons, and the street is just always full. So we have a lot of new things going on this year. And then as far as the food is concerned, of course, cavadillos, plenty of cavadillos.
Okay. So who's going to do it? Like
Civitello's.
Yep.
Cornell's will be doing.
And Cornell's, okay.
Cavadillos, as well as Civitello's will be doing cavadillos.
Civitello's is opening?
Civitello's will be open for the event.
For the event, because we're waiting for them to open up again.
We're waiting very patiently, and Mark's doing a world of good down there, and he's revamping everything.
What kind of changes are they making down there?
Well, from what he tells me, it'll be identical when you walk in. I think he's done, the same
back
booths.
area that needs
the
to
back
be
area,
redone.
yes, kitchens and things. But he will be serving his lemon ice and cavadillos,
Okay.
Zapala,
Oh,
fried
Zapala.
dough.
Oh, God.
He'll have his patio open with a small booth out front. We won't be able to go into the storefront. It's still under renovation.
But you can sit in the patio.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then, of course, there's a new chef over at Cornell's. Scott Carlton, and he'll be making his famous pasta bolognese. And of course, there'll be all kinds of cavadillos.
My mouth is watering. Stop that.
Arancinis, which are one of my
The
favorites.
arancini.
Yes,
Do you
yes.
make those?
I do at home.
You
I
do?
don't make them.
I've never made them,
in
but
the hundreds.
they're
like
so good.
Yes, they're wonderful. And there's actually a
has to do with
store.
rice.
Yeah, sometimes I stop at Fred the Butcher in Clifton Park. He's got them with all different kinds of things in
Oh,
there,
really?
asparagus and peas, and sometimes
Oh, he
meat
makes them up
inside of
there.
them.
I
They
didn't know
do
that, yeah.
fresh. Yeah, does a nice job on
Yeah,
them.
it's good.
So we'll have all that going on, as well as Mopco will have entertainment on the hour, every hour inside their building.
So Mopco's going to be operating at the same
Mopco's
time.
going to
That's
be
great.
operating
if you
as well.
haven't seen them, they're
Yep,
really
yep,
great.
Improv, and Hunters on Jay will be open as well. They'll be serving limited things off their menus, but have a beverage truck out front.
What'd you say?
Hunters on Jay.
Where's that?
So that's their 10th year. It's kitty corner from Cornell's on the opposite side of the street.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know where it is. I always
Yes.
think of that as being a bar. There's a bar in the area, right?
Yes, that's a bar. They do dinners.
Dinners and everything. Yes, I know exactly what you
Yes,
mean now.
they have
I
great,
didn't know the name.
Great
Oh, you're in a-
chicken wings. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, something else that's new. There's going to be a tomato pie eating contest from
Tomato pie.
Pareca's.
Oh my God, they make the best tomato pie.
Yes,
Not
and
really pizza. It's tomato pie. It's
tomato
different.
pie.
Looks
Yeah.
like pizza, but it's not pizza.
Yeah. And they're also having some VIP seating this year.
Okay.
And of course, at Cornell's outside in the little patio. And there'll also be, of course, King and Queen will be crowned this year.
Oh,
We'll
really?
keep it a
King and
secret.
Queen.
Yes, we'll keep it a secret as of now.
Okay.
But of course, every year we do crown a king and queen, someone who does a lot for our
It's just
community.
so much fun.
Yes, so much fun.
And
We're
I
out
looked
there.
for my flower.
Yes.
I had it in my office, and I remember picking up and saying, I want to put it where it's safe.
Yeah.
You ever do that?
Yeah.
Forgot where I put it.
who can find it, right?
Yeah, I'll find it after this.
So, and we're just excited that we share the downtown that week with around City Hall. The mayor is sponsoring the MVP Health Care Clinic, the Stockade walkabout. I even think East Front Street is having a small something in honor of Tilly, the train that's down there.
Oh, nice.
And then, of course, the Greek Fest, which is huge, all 3 days, and the
We got
Street
so
Fest.
much going on.
It's
It's like
just
park your car
Yeah.
at 9 a.m. and don't plan on picking it up till midnight. Because you're going
Absolutely.
to have a good time.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's a great day in downtown.
And you're president of the
Little Italy Business Association.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've kind of taken a little step back this year with planning of the Street Fest. I just had a lot going on.
And you work.
And I work full time, yes. I just had beautiful 5 days in Maine, so I'm very relaxed right now, moving right in smoothly back
Glad
to
she's
where I
relaxed
left.
on the show today. I wouldn't want her to be unrelaxed. But
Oh, it's just wonderful. The city's
now, do
wonderful,
you
so many
plan
wonderful
on,
things.
What
Yes.
about, okay, I want to bring this up because this is always an issue. So I go and the bands are great. Where do I sit? Do I bring my own chairs
Oh,
or
so
what?
yes, you can bring your own chair. We do. Mr. Mark from Mark's Tents, he does bring 100 chairs, tables. We have like a little cafe set up in front of the small stage with tables and chairs. In between Pareca's and Cornell's, there's a large tent there with tables and seating. But if you'd like to bring a lawn chair, some of
be
our
comfortable,
pictures that
yeah.
you can see, people bring a lawn chair. But we do have chairs set up in front of the
there's
main
plenty of
stage as
steps
well.
you can sit
Plenty of steps.
I
People
sit
can
on the
sit on
steps
the
usually.
on the curbs. You
Yeah.
know, lots of different things.
Yeah, and it's
places
great for
to
kids,
sit.
so bring the kids.
Bring the kids. We have, you know, there's a balloon lady. She'll be down on Warren Street again. Just, you know, we want to cater. We always love catering to families.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I would just like to add one thing which she didn't add. Bring small bills.
Small bills. I'm sure everyone who takes in currency likes. Oh, that reminds me. We have an
There we go.
we have an ATM this year. So the
Oh.
ATM will be located in Cornell's, in between Cornell's and Pareca's parking lot.
Okay.
And we actually had one for our St. Anthony's
Okay.
Festa this year.
And it worked.
Oh, it worked well. It worked very, very well. So the ATM was huge. So we have secured one for the Street
Wonderful,
Fest
yeah,
this year.
but the small bills, the only reason I say that is if you get in line and somebody hands them a 20,
Yep.
and, you know, and all their change is gone. and-
Especially some of our 30 some odd vendors
Yeah.
who are just all local people, small business owners who like to sell their wares and their crafts at
Yeah,
things.
bring
So
small bills.
small bills are good.
Go to the bank and get, you know, $200 in singles
Absolutely.
and spend them all. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Doreen.
and
I'm
always
glad
a
you had a
pleasure.
great vacation
Yes,
and you're
thank you.
willing to just jump right into this
Right in,
again.
right in.
When is the date?
Saturday, September 7th from noon until 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
And if they hang around after 9, you're not going to kick them out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Good. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
being
Ann.
here. I appreciate what you do as for our Italian heritage.
I-
You know, I just love my country.
Yeah,
the country
absolutely,
that my
absolutely.
parents came from.
Absolutely. My mom came here at 8 years old with a 12-year-old sister.
My mother did too. Well,
Yes.
she was 10 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So and no matter what culture it is, we need to celebrate all heritage. Yep,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Just had the Chinese at our last show. so, yeah,
Absolutely.
there we
How
go.
interesting was that?
Yeah, African
Yes.
Americans. And we got it all.
Yeah.
So we keep doing it.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And now we're going to talk about, what do we talk about? Art.
Art.
Hey, Steve, good
How
to see
are
you
you?
again.
Oh, you too,
and
Ann.
good to
Thank
see
you.
Colleen.
You too.
And this is such an exciting time with the Italian festival. So, and it's all in the same area. Well, yeah,
pretty
much
close.
the same
Yeah,
area. You
a
don't
little
have to get in a
L-shape.
car. You can walk. It's
Sure, you
walkable.
can. And I'm not sure if the trolley will be going through.
Do they do that?
They usually do that, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember
They stop
that.
it.
Yeah. I always
at
had to
different
hike.
times.
I wear sneakers.
Well, the trolley can come down and it runs the perimeter of the art
Oh,
show
okay.
since the streets are closed off in
Oh,
the
that's
stockade.
right.
And then does the loop around to the Greek Fest
We'll
and
have
the
to check and
Italian
make sure
Fest.
that
and-
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Very beneficial.
So now you're doing, I know that now you're president of the Stockade
I am.
Association, and you're working with the art show, Villagers Art Show.
Yes.
Which has been going on forever.
Yep, 73 years.
How many?
73.
Oh, who's counting?
Yeah.
Yes. Only if you chaired the art show back at its 35th and its 36th year, then you count, because those were the years that I chaired it, and now
Really?
36
Oh, my
years
God.
later, Stephen's chairing it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing.
It is.
Yeah, it's
It
an
really
amazing
is.
art show. First of all, it covers like that. It seems like for the entire area is covered. You just walk by the church and all, and you're just walking around, and the art is not just a drawing. It's not just a painting. It's black and white. It's fabric. You name it.
Oh, yeah. Color, abstract, realism. No, it's a nice variety.
Sculpture. I mean, anything. I've seen wood sculpture. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
amazing.
Metal sculpture.
It really is.
And it goes from Front Street at North Church down to Front Street just past Lawrence the Indian to North Street. And then Union Street, North Ferry, right down to, again,
Yeah,
Front Street.
It's full. How many? I don't want to say vendors because they aren't vendors. How many? Well, you got vendors and tell me how many people?
Last
how many
year,
booths?
we had about 86
Okay.
artists last year. And we're hoping for the same, well, we're hoping for more, but we'll be very happy with with 86.
Okay.
And we have about
they can
40.
sell their wares, is that?
Oh yeah, everything. Yep.
So even what you said about grab small bills, that's not a bad idea. Grab a few 20s that you can leave behind with one of the artists or something.
You got to
So
get that ATM machine.
I'm telling you, yeah.
We'll have to think about that. Maybe a next year item.
I didn't even know you could order an ATM machine.
You can. You see them popping up all over, and then they disappear after the event's over.
Well,
which is
hopefully
really a
that they
great
take them
idea.
back and nobody
Yeah.
else walks up.
Yeah. So.
A lot of cheese.
Well,
They
the-
should
the-
be empty by then, though, right?
The exciting thing is that the art show is now underneath the umbrella of the Stockade
I know, I saw
Association.
that when you
They're-
said that.
they're
Yeah.
Which is real,
officially-
it makes sense.
It does.
It
makes
does.
great sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense for all of us all around. It makes sense for the community and promoting the event. And it really, I think, brings the neighborhood a little bit closer together. So it's everybody come out the door on Saturday morning. You can pitch in. You don't even have to pre-register to volunteer, right? It's like, we'll just take your help. Go walk around,
Yeah.
greet the artists, point them in the direction of a restroom or some
Oh,
food
yeah,
for
well,
themselves.
what about, are there porta potties?
Yes, there will be.
What
They
about
should.
food?
Food.
Arthur's?
Arthur's is open, and Slicks hopefully will be open.
St. George's.
St. George's will have their
They do that in the
yearly,
basement or
yeah,
something,
right on the front lawn.
Oh, they do on the front
Yep,
lawn.
and they have hot dogs and hamburgers and.
So there's something
all
to
ki-
grab.
there's
Okay.
tons of stuff to
Between
grab.
the
yeah.
Greek festival, the Italian festival,
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be plenty of food.
But Arthur's will be
But
packed.
you start early. At what time do you start?
10 o'clock.
10
The
o'clock.
show
See-
runs from 10
see-
o'clock to 4.
Okay.
People can get there as early as they wish to set up. Usually 7 o'clock, people are there claiming their spots. And the show starts at 10 o'clock with 2 judges. They'll go through and then we award the prizes about 3 o'clock and the show ends at 4.
Wow, wow,
So
wow.
it's-
And how does it work? Do an artist will then pay for a spot, is that it?
Yes, pre-registration online. You can pre-register for $30 and young adults under 18 for $5. And then August 23rd is the cutoff date for pre-registration.
Yeah, okay.
And then you show up the day, if you didn't pre-register, you show up the day of the event.
Yeah.
And someone will come around and collect your
Okay.
40 bills and
Yeah.
put your tag up, which will make
And
you
then whatever
eligible.
it's not like they pay you a commission or anything, they just,
No,
they-
no, no.
okay,
No.
so
Yep.
that works out
Yep.
Pay
quite
you
well
straight,
for the
yeah.
artist.
Yep.
And artists, it's so nice to have real art on your walls. I mean,
Oh,
most
it
of the
is.
art that I have on my walls, I know the artist.
It's true.
Yeah, except for Van Gogh, he didn't,
And you have a real Van Gogh?
Behind glass.
I'll tell you a quick funny story. I have one of, it feels like a canvas of a Van Gogh, the sunflower. It's one of his sunflowers. And years ago, I went to, and I won't name the store, but it's a chain store. And I said, I'd like to have this framed. Now, the reason I decided to get it framed is that the sunflowers had just sold for like $12 million, okay? So I bring it there and I said, I'd like to have this framed. And she said, well, she says, it's an original, so we can't. I'm standing there saying, you really think I have an original
And you really think I'm bringing it to you?
and leaving it with you? But I went home and I had to laugh because that was so funny. But apparently the person did not know who Van Gogh was or what the sunflowers were.
And I think
So
one
I
of the-
don't think that's going to be there, but everything else is, yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the nice things about that is some artists come year after year. Maybe their 20th year, it may be just their 5th. They try to set up in the same place. Some of them know where the best shade trees are.
Yeah.
Some of them know where the best sidewalks
now
are.
where's the sun coming
And
now? Yeah.
aside from knowing a gentleman who owned a frame shop, I've had my favorite artists over the year, and they literally let you take a piece home and hang it on your wall, see how you feel about it, and either leave it and go back and pay for it, or bring the artwork back. It's just
Is that
there's
right?
such-
That's
there's
a
such
nice
wonderful
neighbor-
family feel
Yep,
to it,
exactly,
too.
nice
It's
neighborhood
just a great
feel.
event,
Yeah.
a great event.
And I have to say, it's so nice to have paintings on your wall that you know the artist, because when I walk by it, I have one by Lilia Singer. I don't know if you ever knew who she was, but she was a wonderful artist. And last time I saw her, she was at the art show, by the way, just walking around. And every time I walk by, I think of her. So I think the thing about having real
that
art
recognition
is like,
is, yeah,
it
it's in
brings
your
you
heart.
close
Yep.
to the artist.
And you always wonder how they are. My Betty McBain has a key spot in my living room, and aside from her in my living room, I don't have many walls because I'm up in the attic and I'm all dormered. But it's just such a treat to have that, you know.
So buy local art.
Without a
Yes.
doubt, without a doubt. And the positive thing is we get artists from, I mean, I remember people would come from as far as 50, 60 miles away.
Well, I mean, still local. I mean, the
True,
idea that
true.
you've met the artist,
Right.
you've seen the other work that the artist has done, and it gives you a feeling of a link with it. Yeah. So, but you're also having a street fest. What the heck is that? That's brand new.
So, well,
That is for the Stockade Art Show, or for the
for the
walkabout.
So
Now, is that the same day? No.
No, not the same day. So
Okay, I got my.
Yeah.
Okay, then I got it mixed up
Yeah.
because I thought it was the.
So yeah, it is brand new for us, and
Okay.
street fests are popping up all over, which is a fun
Wonderful.
thing. So at the end of the month is the walkabout. The 28th is the walkabout.
That's a wonderful
It's
event.
our 59th.
You get to go in the houses.
We
and
get
that's
to go
the fun
in the
part.
houses. It's our 59th year,
Yeah.
our 59th walkabout. Every other year we're doing them now.
You do sometimes the same, but a lot of different houses and things.
Oh yeah, there'll be a whole selection of 7 or 8 new homes that are on. The churches are on. Several of the businesses are open. The Stockade Inn will be open. And what we decided to do this year is Church Street between Union and Front will be closed over. We're bringing in vintage cars,
Oh,
vintage
how cool.
clothing.
That's what you mean by street fest.
Artisans and things along that way. We'll have
Maybe you can get some of the art people to go in.
and we're hoping, and that's exactly what we'll do.
Yeah, put
They'll
out
be
the
there.
word.
There'll be a good, group of people that we can walk around and invite to come back down in 3 or 4 weeks for the street fest. So there's
What a
always
wonderful,
something going on.
wonderful event.
Always something going
Wonderful.
on.
This-
Great neighborhood.
And the homes are so
Yep.
unusual.
And by the time this airs, the Gilded Age will have been in and out. So
They're coming in, I know
They're
that.
coming
Yeah, this week,
I mean,
yeah.
we have so much to offer, like film crews. I mean, when they are looking for a spot, and with the Stockade, it's like, this is original.
And they've been scouting us for 4 years now. So finally,
They're doing it.
they're at the right time period where the houses along Washington Avenue are just perfect. We're watching them put down bluestone, slicks on top of old sidewalks, and cobblestone will go down this weekend. The horse tent is already up. So it's
Isn't that exciting?
and you know what it is? It's just it's an art form.
Yeah.
Filming and wardrobing and costuming and staging is an art form, and I'm so glad that
we are
we're
so
being recognized.
We're really, it's
Yeah.
just what's happening in our community. We are so, I love where we live.
Mm-hmm.
I really love where we live. Someone says, don't you want to move to, no. Do you want to move to Florida? Let's see, hurricanes,
Yeah.
and,
Heat.
let's see, typhoons. Nah, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I'll take the snow,
And-
because the snow melts.
Yep, and you can get away from it
and
for a
we
while
are,
too.
We are walkable. All of our major cities that you go to in this area, everyone has a great walkable community,
Exactly.
walkable for the Stockade, the things you can go to. And even just aside from, that big day where you've got the Greek Fest and the
Everything
Italian Fest and everything going on, you can just walk. Find a good parking space, maybe in the shade, and then just go walk
Just
and have
go.
a good
Yep.
Park in a
time.
parking garage. You
And
ain't
see
gotta
how
worry
the city
about
has
shade.
changed also.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for
Oh,
being here and for
thanks
what
for
you
having
do.
us.
And I know you
Thanks.
are really doing a lot of good stuff with art.
Yeah, all of
And
us.
thank you, Colleen,
No,
for
you're more
being
than
here
welcome.
because you make this community so rich for what you do.
It's a rich community.
Yeah.
and
Thank
I
you
love it.
both.
Nice.
I'm going to
Thanks, Sam.
switch over here and I'm going to be talking with an artist. Hey, hi.
Hi, how are
Pauline,
you?
I'm so glad to meet you.
Thank you so much. Same
Because
here.
I went to your website and
Yes.
oh my goodness, you really do like denim,
I
don't
do.
you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what you do, and I know that you're going to have a mural that you're working with.
Yes.
Is that going to be in denim?
Yes. The
That's
entire.
what I thought.
Yes.
I just took that as a wild guess.
Yes.
I thought that
Yes.
was it.
So
Tell me a
I
little bit
was.
about yourself.
So my name is Pauline, and my
Saunders.
business is Pauline Saunders. And my business name is Evadney Line. So I love denim and I don't like waste. So I do a lot of upcycling, making denim earrings, bracelets, handbags,
Your little clutches are cute as
the
can be,
clutches,
yeah.
aprons. I've done
aprons,
yeah,
huh?
I've done so much things with denim. But I kind of turned a little bit to the art side, and I did a canvas of a denim art piece. And a lot of people said they like it. I applied for a grant, received the grant, and now I'm going to do a big mural, 6 by 6 feet mural, all
good size.
denim.
Denim?
Yes.
And of course, denim comes in different colors.
Oh, absolutely. So I did a drive in June, and I asked for donations. I received over 160 pairs of jeans.
Okay.
And now the workshops are going to start with people helping me to cut it.
You got to cut it and
Yes.
get it in the pieces that you
Yes,
want.
yes.
But what I like is she's made things like, those little loops on your belt like that.
Yes.
You were able to make earrings out
Yes.
of those little things.
Yes.
They were so cute.
Yes. And your waistband, I made bracelets out of those.
Yeah.
Yes. And seams of your pants, I make earrings. Yes.
Where on earth did you get this idea?
Okay, so I saw a bag on YouTube. I love pearls, and I saw the denim and pearl bag, and I saw it, and it was like $160, and I said, I'm not doing that. So I said, let me try
But
yeah.
But maybe.
Yes, I can make it. And I made it. And I said, let me just ask my family and my friends, what do you guys think? Of course, Facebook, I asked.
Yeah.
Well, can you make me one? Can you make me one? I'm like, okay. Now everyone.
Now you got a business
Yes.
and you didn't expect
Yes,
that.
yes. Because everyone, I just was giving it away as birthday presents and anniversary presents. And now it's like, nope, time to make some money.
Yeah,
doing it,
absolutely.
yes.
Well, because you it's intellectual property.
Yes, yes.
Kind of
yes.
doing it, yeah.
Yes,
So you got your jeans.
Yes.
And you're going to cut them up
yes. In a lot of pieces.
into a lot. Now, do you
Yes.
cut them up into big pieces and then figure out what you want in smaller pieces? Or
Yes,
do you just
so,
do
yeah.
it like quilts,
No, so I take the denim apart. So I will take the pockets off, a pile of pockets, a pile of waistbands, a pile of seams.
Okay.
And separate it. And then I would put them together.
figuring out
And
what to
figuring
do.
out what I
And
wanna
does it
do with
just
them.
talk to you?
It really does. It really does. I was highlighted in a couple of newscasters and Spectrum News and Gazette because during COVID there was a lot of death, and I ended up making memory bags out of loved ones' clothing.
Oh.
And it got a hold of people, and then it just skyrocketed from there. So making those bags is totally different from the bags that I make to sell
Yeah.
because that's a total.
So you do that.
Yes.
I have a memory doll
Yes.
or little stuffed doll from my daughter who passed away.
Yes.
And they made the doll, and every time I look at it, I
Yes.
remember her wearing those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
It's a good idea.
yes,
yeah.
it is. It is. And I don't like waste.
No, I don't
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
Well, clothing waste, and do you work with Jasnea?
Yeah,
She's an
Jacinia, yes.
amazing
Oh,
woman as
absolutely
well.
beautiful. Yes, yes.
And she's really concerned about I would say food waste. No, it's food waste is bad enough.
Yeah, that's the-
But
no,
clothing
yes,
waste is
yes.
really bad. At least food will disintegrate, but
Yes.
fabrics, I mean, they will eventually.
Yes.
But I think it's our fashion industry that pushes more clothing,
Yes.
more clothing, more clothing, and cheap clothing, cheap clothing.
Yes.
And what do we do with it when it doesn't fit right or something, or the button comes off? I had a friend. When the button comes off, she gets rid of it. I
No.
said, put another button on
Yes,
it.
that's it.
She
That's
says, oh, I don't
all.
want to be bothered.
No.
It's like, you're getting rid of an outfit because it's missing a
No,
button.
no, you can't do that. You can't, and you know, because times is hard now, people are being more conscious. You can't go out and buy a new outfit every time you want to go and do something. You have clothing there. You just revamp it,
Exactly.
and it's fabulous.
And I think it's exciting. I'll buy clothing, and I tailor them a little bit, or I don't like this, and I take that off, and I do this. Don't be afraid to do that.
No. Fashion
Have
is
some fun
art.
with it.
Yeah,
Have
absolutely.
some fun with your clothing.
Absolutely.
And if you find stuff you want to wear, but pin it on there, or
Yes.
stick it on there,
Yes,
put it on the
yes.
back.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So are you still looking for denim?
Well, no, because I think I have enough.
You got
I have
enough
enough for
denim.
now. But do people still? I don't refuse anyone giving me denim. So If you want to, you can donate. But right now, for this mural, I do have enough.
Okay.
And that's where the workshops comes in, because I need people to help me to cut it.
Okay, so how are you getting people to help you?
So I have done 3 workshops. I'm going to do 3 workshops. So the whole piece is Love Where You Live. That's the title
That's
of
the
my
title.
mural.
I think we
And
put
you
that
ju-
up there, yeah.
Yes, and it's an how can I say, all generational. So I work with the Ingersoll Place, which is an assisted living place. I'm working with the Schenectady High School cheerleaders.
I saw the list
Yes.
of people that you're working
I'm
with.
working with
Ingersoll, you
Ingersoll,
said.
yes, and I'm working with my church, my church family, and so it's like, and all the children, all the kids coming there. I have a program with the kids coming in and helping me. So it's like everyone will be a part of this,
So
and
that's
it will
where
be
you
a
get your
travel.
title, too.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
and it'll be a traveling piece, so it will go all over the Capital
nice.
District.
So it's gonna be at
after
the
it's
Albany
done.
Barn first in
Yes.
October.
Yes. So no, we finally got a date.
Oh, you got
we
a date.
changed the
Okay.
date.
Sorry.
So the unveiling will be December 6th
Oh, December,
at
okay.
Albany Barn at the Gifted.
Okay.
And I will put I'll send you the link for that.
Please do.
And that's what's going to be the unveiling there.
Oh,
So,
cool,
yeah,
cool.
I'm excited. excited.
You should be so excited,
Yes.
and the idea that you even came up with doing denim because
Yes.
you wanted that denim purse with the pearls on it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Never
yes.
know where
You
where an
never know.
idea comes from, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, yes.
So now it's your mission, huh?
yeah, I'm
Do
entering.
you do this on the side, or do you have another job?
I have another job, but this is my passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we gotta
I
have a
love
little
it.
passion in our lives.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
I applaud what you're doing,
Thank
and you
you.
need to do one of these art shows. Get out there.
I
and-
just was listening to the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they could
absolutely.
probably use another
Oh
vendor,
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows?
I wrote it down.
They're great people.
yes.
They're really good
Oh
people
yes,
to work
yes,
with. too,
they
so.
are. Yes.
But Pauline, it's
Yes.
been a pleasure to meet
Thank you so much.
And I thought it was exciting when I saw what you did, and I
Thank
had to
you.
invite you to come on the show.
Thank you so much.
Because I think this is fun, and not only that, what you're doing is community.
Yes, absolutely.
Keep
yes.
that community rolling.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to switch over to our next guest, and of course, don't I just love you guys? Chris Foster here, and of course, Melissa.
Who do you love more?
Careful, Ann.
Patrick. Didn't expect that one.
Good answer.
I had to be neutral on that one here. But anyway, Melissa's been acting for a while. You and your husband are both actors.
We met each other through theater, sure.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you get married on stage like some people do?
We just sang in that wedding.
Really?
Yes, we did.
There
It was
was
wonderful.
a wedding at Slock.
It was a fundraiser. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But it was a real wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
Yes,
that-
it was.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people that had, been involved in the community as well.
Yeah. No weddings in Maggie May though, right? Unless you're full of surprises.
Well,
But
you don't know. It's early on in rehearsal.
So yes, so raising money there
yeah.
for
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we're talking about Harbinger now. But
Yeah.
but I know that you've been involved with civic players and everything.
yeah.
They're all over the place. You have too, though. You've been
Yes.
all over before Harbinger. Now that's your love.
Right?
So how
And
are
this
you?
is not only a Harbinger production, this is a Harbinger
Albany
ACT
Civ-
co-production.
ACT, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I really like the working of communities together. Are you working on the cast party too over in?
Yes.
How
I'm
exciting
Working on
that-
the 501c3 for that part of it.
Isn't that something? There's
Yeah.
so much. Now, who's behind the cast party? And just
So it is a launch party for a festival, Capital Region Theater Festival.
that Patrick
that
kind of got.
he's spearheading that will
Spearheaded
happen
that, yeah.
in June of 2025.
Oh, okay, exciting.
So yes, it seems like it's so early to be working on that, but it'll go by like that.
No, it's not too early at all. But this play that you're doing is called Maggie May,
Correct, Maggie
and
May.
you're Maggie,
I am.
and Maggie is an activist, mover, shaker. What is she?
Maggie is learning that she will be able to change lives for the better, really no matter what happens.
Okay, and does she?
Yes, she does, and she's gifted with a lovely husband, Gordon, who is a real team player with her, and they each have their own things that are going on in their lives physically, but very much care for each other. It's almost part musical, is that fair to say?
There's
see,
music.
We do a lot of
Stuart
singing.
have anything to do with it?
Yes.
The couple has met in the 70s, and so and someone in the family has found out that that these problems that they've been having is now a result of having dementia. And one of the ways that they bring each other back is by singing these old songs that they used to relate to with in the 70s. And so one of those songs is Maggie May.
Maggie
That's
May,
why
yeah,
it's called that.
yeah. I mean, we know that, you know, Rod Stewart. I mean, I still hear it because I listen to 100.5. You know, so some of those old songs, I kind of like to hear them occasionally. It brings back memories. Which
It was
I'm
7
sure
minutes
is
ago.
Exactly what we're talking about is bringing back a memory.
And we know that actually people with dementia key in to music. Music really connects with the brain.
You know, it's interesting. I had a group on that. Actually, there were a lot of dementia patients in the group, and it was somebody had gotten a group together. I don't know where. This was a while back. I'm in my 26 years, so who knows when it was. God, do I have dementia? No, anyway. But anyway, they know all the words to the songs, even though they don't know their husband or their...
Right, right. This play, I mean, Chris will know more background, was commissioned in the UK. And people who had experience as family members and people with dementia had a lot of input into sharing what the feelings were and the experiences were. So it's as an actor, a really rich experience, because I know when I'm talking, I'm not just talking about something that someone imagined sitting at a computer. I'm talking about stuff that's really happened.
Was part of somebody's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dementia, I mean, they just did The Father, you know.
They did.
Talking about that one. I think we're bringing it more to the front to talk about it. And I just heard on the news yesterday that there's another drug that won't stop it, but it slows it down to give them a longer life. And believe it or not, it's metformin, which is a drug that is used for diabetes because they said that the sugar that accumulates in the brain contributes to dementia. So therefore, if it's a study that they're doing. They feel that if they use the metformin to reduce the sugar, and these are for non-diabetics, that it may change that. I mean, there's so much research going on. So.
Yeah, that's what's interesting too about this play is because you don't get a solid answer. How could you get a solid answer? You know, it's actually the accepting of what's happening to these, and it's just not just the person who has it. It's also the family,
caregivers,
and the caregivers, people surrounding it, and then how to move forward with it. You know, not that there's going to be. Because
there's no improvement.
Right.
But the quality of life.
But the quality of life can improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, this is a personal question. Have either of you experienced dementia, not personally, but in your friends or something?
Yes.
Family.
Yep.
Family or friends. And how did it help you or not as far as working with?
The family member that I grew up with had a very active mental life, and you'd be sitting with that person, not talking to them, and they'd be having these fascinating conversations
With
in their head with people, and you could interrupt, and they would talk to you. But I very much get what that experience is like. I think. Is it believable?
You're probably because
Yeah.
they withdraw into whatever it is. It's like so I had a high school friend who had dementia and ended up in Daughters of Sarah. They have a memory care area, and I talked to his wife, and she said, "Oh yeah, he's principal again." He was a principal of a high school.
Sure.
And now he's giving everybody the orders of, you have to go to the other room.
So good that a caregiver can tell the staff that's what's happening too. So they don't look at the person's behavior and think, oh, you know, and there's conversation about that in the play too, about, you know, I'm scared about nurses taking care of me because they're not going to know who I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because they only see you as you were. It wasn't that you were the president of a bank and or that you raised 12 kids and you took in foster kids, or you did this or you did that. And
But-
that's nothing is
That's how other people see us too, though. You know what I mean? We talk about it, that somebody is having a shiny day when they have this disease, which means
a shiny
a
day.
shiny day.
I haven't heard that
Meaning
term.
that we can relate to them. They are their usual self as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, but on the days when everything's going wrong, we look at them differently. They're almost like an uninvited guest.
Yeah.
We want to remember them how we want to remember them, which is, vibrant, or, however we
want 'em back.
We want them back. And that's not going to happen. This play is really learning about how not only the person can do things in order to have shiny days, but also how other people around these people can also help with that process.
It changes people,
It does.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that you don't want to always correct them. If they're in a space, let them be in that space.
That's right, judging or correcting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things is, no, Daddy, we didn't do that. Remember, we didn't do that.
Or you
something.
already told me that. I've heard that a lot. My
Yeah,
wife actually,
sure.
yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
Well, it's more interesting this time. And it'll be more interesting next time when I tell you, for me.
And we have to, I think, in this play, I'm sure is it similar to The Father in the sense?
So this play is about someone who's in the early stages.
Early stages.
So
Whereas
they're
in
also,
The Father, it showed him all the way
they're
through.
recognizing, I'm not just depressed, there's actually something wrong with me. So they're having the realization about it. And then the other people who were very, they were used to having somebody who didn't have any of these symptoms suddenly when they have symptoms. So it's early on in the process.
There is
So it's
humor.
just you're getting the feel that something's going on.
Well, some of it does go further into it.
Okay.
But there is life and humor. Would you agree? In this play?
It's very
Yeah.
gentle and it's very humorous.
Warm.
Okay, all right. This is going to be done at the Albany Civic Theater.
Correct.
We'll talk about the play itself. When is this going to occur?
September 6th through the 22nd.
Okay,
So
that's
it's 3
coming up pretty
weekends.
soon.
Yep,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m., Sundays at 3 p.m.
Okay, so and we didn't talk about the cast. I know Melissa's here, but I mean,
Melissa's in
you
it.
got a couple other people in the cast.
We do?
How many?
Gary
And who are they?
Maggio. Gary Maggio plays
Gary
Melissa's
played
husband.
the father.
Yes, he
That's
did.
right, he played the father. Isn't that fun? Reverse roles.
Yes. Oh, he played in the father. He was amazing in that part.
And Ben Amy plays her
I
son.
know who she is. Yeah.
Him, yep, Ben Amy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben.
Yep. And then I just corrected you. Oh
Yeah.
no.
No, that's good. I'm glad you did. I'm thinking Amy, and
Yeah.
I was thinking Amy.
And then
I know who
Ashley
you mean.
Schuliger
Yeah.
plays his girlfriend. And then Robin Leary plays Melissa's best friend, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a nice. It's not a big cast.
No,
but it's
five.
Right.
No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But they all, they all are affected because they're so close to her by this situation.
Yeah. And, one of the things, I know that the actors do a great job, and of course somebody wrote the play and everything. What about the set? Because I love to ask who did the
So-
set. It's just one of those things about me.
So I do have a set designer named Jenny Sinnott, but the set is very pared down. That's what I've asked for, so that I want the story to be
Center.
right. And also, it is somewhat dementia friendly in that there will be projections for part of the play.
Wait, I'm sorry, projections? What?
Projections,
Are
like
you
so.
talking about a picture
Within the
against the wall?
scene, no, it's words on the walls, like important things or themes that are happening get projected during the scene.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how it's
I've never
written.
seen
That's
that.
in the script.
Other than when I went to the opera and couldn't understand the words.
Well,
They
right,
were
super
running
titles,
across-
sure.
They were running across the top.
But also, characters each have a different color costume. Those kinds of things that make it easier to understand the story and and that we can, hang on to, that we can understand it better.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Was that in the notes, or
So
or is that
part
your
of that's,
idea?
No, part of that's written in the script itself.
Okay.
And there are other suggestions in some of the notes. This is a U.S. premiere. This was
Okay.
only done in the UK, and it had 3 preview performances, and then the pandemic shut it down. So it wasn't until 2021 when it actually had its
How did
first.
you find it? How'd you find it?
So you know that I go
Yeah, I know.
to New York
these guys,
constantly, right?
They go to like 500 shows
Yeah,
a year.
but no, it was from the Drama Bookshop down in New York City.
Oh, okay, you saw it. You saw the play, the book.
That's right, sitting
Yeah.
on the shelf, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So isn't that? Do you like working with him?
I do. He's sitting right here. Like,
Yeah,
and
he's a-
this is the spot you're putting me on. No, yes, it's the second time I've worked with
know
Chris,
you guys.
and it's a very enjoyable. I'm getting to see more this time how he directs because I'm spending more time working with him.
Okay.
So yeah.
He's a good
annoying.
director, huh? Okay, last time I saw you in the Michelangelo, what was it? David.
Destroying
David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were great in that. So
Yeah.
much fun. So much fun. I love
Yeah.
theater. Yeah. And are you involved in the cast party, or is this something that's starting that Patrick will spin off on?
So I am involved in the. We had to make it a not-for-profit. We had to register
I
with the
understand
charities
that,
and
yeah,
do all
yeah.
that business. So I'm kind of doing the back.
Oh, the back end
Business
of it.
on
Okay.
that.
That
Yeah.
has to be done.
Somebody has to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
good. Well, that's going to be coming up in October, and so I hope to
Right.
be there. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Ann.
I'd
Thank
say
you, Ann.
break a leg, but I don't want anybody to break anything. But have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for partnering with Civic Players in Albany, because
We're very happy. They've been very helpful
They've been
to us.
very good. They're a good group. So
Yeah.
thank you both so
Thanks,
much.
Ann.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to swing over to another group, and we're talking SLOC. We just talked about a fundraiser over here. Were you involved in that fundraiser?
No, this is actually my first ever thing with SLOC.
Oh, it's the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, and then we have our guests here, and Brody, you're playing Lawrence, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, good. And we have you on the show, and tell me a little bit about the show.
So it's a really interesting show. It starts with an 11 o'clock number, and then it never stops. The kids are in and out, and the parents have a lot of fun characters they get to portray. We've joked it's like The Sound of Music.
Okay.
Because there's a very unconventional teacher that comes in and affects this group of kids that he didn't expect to touch in this way. And and they learn from each other in that way, through music.
Yeah.
So-
And what kind of music? I mean, rock, of course, but what kind of music? And do you sing?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your favorite song?
Does he sing?
If only you would listen.
If only you would listen.
Yes.
Okay. Is that basically one of the songs within the? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like a song that they pulled in. It's.
Well, so it's based on the film, which is not a musical. But when they expanded the story and made it just a little richer for the stage, they gave all the kids this more of an inner life.
Okay.
And gave them a reason to want to rebel more. There's this gorgeous song halfway through where they all come out and they have these interactions with their parents that are kind of crushing. Like, they're being kids and they're kind of being punished for it. And they all get up and say, if only you would listen, my life would be.
Oh, and that's what your song is. If
Yeah.
only. What are some of the lyrics in it, or could you tell me, or just? I'd just like to hear the lyrics.
You always talk all the time. You never let me get in a word. I wish I had a dime for every thought I've swallowed unheard. No matter what it is that I do, it's like I just can't seem to get through.
Wow, oh, that's really
And it's
nice.
There's so much fun in the show, so much dancing and exciting moments. But ask anybody, and it's like, that's my favorite number.
Is it? Well, I can see why it's his favorite number. Now, you're the director.
Yes.
Now, usually there's dance. Is there a choreographer?
Yes.
Now, who's doing the choreography?
Jillian Granger is my choreographer. Jonathan Granger is my music director, and they're not related.
Okay.
It's just a random great coincidence. And actually, the three of us did the show in 2022 up in Glens Falls.
Oh, you did? So
Yeah.
you already done it before?
We have, and we just love it so much.
How big a cast are you dealing with?
About 30.
30?
Yeah, about 14 kids, and then about 15 adults.
Yeah.
That's a big cast.
Yes, especially for
How do you
SLOC.
get them together to practice?
Um,
Or, I mean, usually in a play you can get scenes that you
Sure.
can work with, but when you look at a cast like that and you got dancers and singers and stuff, how do you do that?
it's kind of tricky to break it down, especially because, you know, in Sound of Music, it was like scene, song, and in this it's like scene with a little bit of song, and then we're gonna talk in the middle of the song, and then we're gonna sing some more. So it's kind of, Jonathan's at the piano ready to go, while me and Jill are like, is it you? Is it me? Okay, who's gonna take this one? It's just a lot of collaboration, and it's just like that with the cast too, who we can have there and what we can work at the time. They've been really, really good. I mean, these kids come in prepared like nothing I've ever seen from adults before, so it's really been a great experience.
Well, let's talk to Brody a little bit.
Yes.
Brody, you've been acting how long?
Since 2018.
Okay, so that's a few years, 4 or 5
Yeah.
years, yeah. And what was your first production that you were in?
My first production was Oliver Twist
You were in
in
Oliver
Me
Twist.
Middleburg.
too.
Really?
Yes, I was a workhouse boy. You weren't born.
Really? You were in Oliver Twist?
Yep, I was in the ensemble and the understudy for Oliver.
Okay. And did that give you the bug?
That's really when the bug hit me, and I was like, oh, I want to do theater. And I've just been going nonstop since.
Okay, so after that, what was your next one? Or no, it doesn't have to be the exact next one, but then where did you go from there? Did you go? Was it always like music, or was it dance, or what was it that grabbed
It was
you?
really everything, and I just thought how cool it was mixing dance with music, with choreography, and it was really cool.
Yeah. So were you in The Sound of Music ever? No.
No, I've never been in The Sound of Music.
Okay.
Nor
Well, she mentioned it, so I just.
I know, I always do.
Yeah,
Go
no,
back to that one.
It's a good one.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah. So what are some of the other ones that you were in? I'm just kind of see how
I was
you
in
developed.
The Lion King.
What did you play in The Lion King?
I was young Simba.
Oh, you're young Simba.
And then two of my favorites were The Prom and Fiddler on the Roof.
You were in Fiddler too? What'd you play in Fiddler?
I was Mordecai the innkeeper.
Oh, the innkeeper. That's a good part. Fun.
Yeah.
So, and how long have you been directing?
My first show was here at Proctor's in the GE Theater in 2010. This is the first one I ever directed.
You direct. Okay, what was it?
It was called Bear. It was like a little small community theater group.
Oh.
But I kind of just decided I wanted to, and then kept going.
Now, were you an actor before you?
Yes, I still act. I do a little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, did you act
Yeah.
before you directed? Or,
Oh, yeah.
because it's important
Yeah.
to me, a director that hasn't acted. I mean, I can't even imagine how that
Yeah.
works, because you have to understand how what the mind of the actor is, and what kind of direction they will accept.
Yeah, well, and I really like people to make their own choices.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
too.
and right within my vision. So it's a lot of give and take, a lot of collaboration, and
Because an actor sometimes says that just doesn't feel right. I
Right.
don't think the person would do that. It doesn't feel right for me. And then
Right.
the director would say, yeah, you're right, that doesn't work. So you work together, the collaboration. But collaborating with this number of people, I don't know how you do that.
they're wonderful, genuinely. And SLOC is so well organized and
see.
so supportive. It's really been wonderful and so fun. Like we go and I have fun. You guys have fun, I think.
They definitely picked a wonderful cast for this show.
Because you're in it?
Because he's in it. And all
What
the
school do you go to?
I go to Greenville.
Greenville. So you have to come a little ways to come here.
Yeah.
So where do all your cast come from?
a little bit of everywhere. I think you're the farthest, and you come from south. I don't really.
Yeah,
And my team comes from Glens Falls, so we're like an hour in each direction, it seems.
Exactly.
And then there are some people who walk to rehearsal. So
That happens.
yeah,
You know,
you're lucky.
So when let's talk about when this production is.
We open on September 13th.
Okay, and it runs through the 22nd. I
Through the
think.
22nd.
Yeah.
Our ASL performance is the 15th.
Okay. And where do you get your sign language from?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
That's a SLOC thing. I really love that they do it.
I like the idea that they do that, too.
I do too. I love it. a couple theaters have started doing sensory-friendly performances.
Well,
where
they're doing with the autism.
Yeah, and they introduce the character, so it's not overwhelming.
Well,
and I
I've
love
been to
that.
SLOC when there was a whole line. It was like the first time I'd ever really encountered it, that there were like 4 people sitting in the, not the first 3 rows, but the next up. And they all had big,
Yeah.
phones or no, headphones over their head. And at first I thought, well, are they, do they have hearing? I was trying to figure, then I thought, oh, too much noise.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's, especially in a show like this. I can definitely recommend.
So, but
if
then
you're
I
stimulated.
realized that it's important it's important for, this should be inclusive. All theaters should be inclusive. So you have one production where you use, the sign language, or you use for autism, sound
Lower
down or something.
effects.
But it's so important because we want everyone to enjoy
Exactly.
theater, not just those that don't have any issues,
And that's what I believe it's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be fun. We take it seriously and want to do a good show, but I tell the kids, like, I'm not making money off of this. You guys aren't making money off of this. No one's going to get famous from this, I think.
We don't know. Look at Gabrielle.
True. And she came to SLOC last year. But I mean, it's just for the sake of the environment we're in, the stakes are not that high. Let's have a great time.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Just enjoy. And when you enjoy, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, really, if you are into it and having a wonderful time, it exudes to the audience.
Yes.
They know you're having a wonderful time.
I agree.
And it's so important to bring that. I mean, the audience has to feel as though, oh, they're having a good time. I'm having a good time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you doing anything special for the event? I know that usually there's some yummies at the back of the.
I don't think we'll do. I don't know
Theater
that we'll
talk
do
or
like
anything like that?
themed things, but I think we're going to try to have a talk back night and maybe like a karaoke type of event. I'm not quite sure what they're organizing, but
I like a talk back.
I know, I do too. It's so fun, and and we've been talking a lot about characters.
Exactly.
So the kids have been putting in a lot of work and into what you would consider for a talk back.
Right.
The work. Yeah.
It's important, I think, to do that. Well, not only that, but every time I go, I learn more about the characters and how they felt about portraying that person.
Yeah.
And whether it affected them or whether they didn't quite get it, or there was so much behind it. Now, your character, you're happy with your character, right?
I couldn't be more happy.
You couldn't be more happy.
Couldn't.
Don't you want to hear that from
I
everybody?
love it. Oh my God. And nothing's better than when everybody wants to be there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are dragging their feet a little, and it's the best.
No, they're there, and not only
they're
that, but
there.
they're practicing before you started rehearsal.
Exactly. And that's what these kids do. They're like, what are we doing today? Can we do more? Oh, it's over already. It's 9 o'clock. like, oh my God, yeah.
Thank gosh. Well, we want to encourage everybody to go to SLOC to see this, and this is going to be September the 13th through the 22nd. Get your tickets ahead because they have had sold out shows
Oh yeah.
more often.
Yeah.
There was a show I wanted to go see, and all tickets were all gone. It's like, really? Joseph.
Yes.
The tickets were gone. I wanted to go
Gone.
see that. No, one ticket somewhere.
It was fabulous.
But that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
musicals, actually, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Coat. So I hope that it's a sellout crowd for everybody. And you may have to
you.
throw in 2 or 3 more new productions.
Another weekend, maybe.
Yeah, another
Jeez.
weekend or something.
I do want to just say,
Yes, go ahead.
the kids in the show all play their own instruments. They're actually in the band.
Really?
They are incredible.
Stop. You play an instrument?
On
I play the
stage and
piano.
sing and dance and bring it on and off and act.
And all I
and
do is host a show. I don't know, but you're going to go places, I can tell. Please stay, and I just want to wrap up the show a little bit. Coming up in our next month, we have the Electric City Chorus, we have the New York Folklore Society, we have restorations. There's someone doing some restorations. We're going to learn about that. The Schenectady Civic Players will be here. First time on our show, UCall will be here. That's Union College and what they're doing for lifelong learning. We're going to be talking about the Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation. We're talking about quilts. They're having a big quilt show here at Proctor's. I believe it's at Proctor's. I haven't gotten the details yet. And much, much more is coming up. We're going to be talking also about the jazz, a place for jazz, and they've got some great music coming up. Got lots going on. I want to thank you all for watching Capital Region Today. It's always a pleasure. I do want to give a big shout out to the great crew that we have. Our crew is all volunteers, and they do a great job of coming here. And we set up, it takes us about 2 hours to set up. We set up, and then we do 2 shows, one after the other. We do one in advance, and then we also have to break down everything, but we have a good time, and it's only once a month that we do it. If you'd like to help out on the show, give me a call or contact me, and I'd be happy to see if we can't find a job for you. And if not, just come enjoy the show. Please come and see us. I'm Ann Pearlie, your host. Thank you for watching.